artist in England or any artist in the world. I've gone my way 70 odd years. It's taken me all this time to get to there. And then they come and they say it's too simple. Ooh. I don't know what they're talking about.
A bit further, that's it. Right. Are you okay?
It's still the wrong angle. It's wrong. And I'm going, that picture, if they take me, it's part of the background. It's not a picture. I will not have it.
Theo. But we are.
I can see the colours, I can see all the colours, and I can see that the colours have changed because of the angle of the picture. There's other pictures I can tell you about the subject matter, but I can't tell you about art. You can't explain art in words, painting. You have to see what's in the painting, not me. And if you don't, well, it's a waste of time.
He had a sort of ruthless determination to find what he calls the truth about art and painting. And he treats everyone like slaves because he's a slave to art himself. And that's why he's got so many paintings and they're of such quality. He's a fine artist, and there's no doubt about it. You can question him as a man, but as an artist, there's no doubt that he is one of the greatest.
The cruelty, the nastiness. 3 little children being murdered this weekend. If I had the power, I should destroy the people who do things like that. Innocence, like a child. If people can't see the meaning in these pictures, well, get out and don't come back.
He's been quietly painting away in that house now for, what, 40 odd years. And I think all the people that used to greatly admire his work, I think they're all dead and gone now. A lot of the people that wrote about him, a lot of the art critics, people that run galleries, are not in contact with him now. I think it's sort of gone very quiet. He doesn't care about anybody's opinion of him or his work. He just continues to paint. He'll continue to paint till he drops down dead. The reason why people don't know about him is because he hasn't wanted the publicity. Oh, right, we'll get up now. Come on, shall we get up? Let's get you out of bed, come on. It's going stiff, isn't it, your leg? Let's get this out of the way. That's it. Just stick my hand down there.
All right.
I'll make you a cup of tea and then I'll make you breakfast. Okay, put that one there. Are you okay for a minute?
Yes?
It's a beautiful morning, Theo.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
Look at
how beautiful.
that, isn't that lovely?
Is it nice to see the birds?
Yeah.
All they're kept together. Just on Monday in the year. And then they're off to Africa.
Should we go with them? Should we go with them? Let's fly away with them.
I've never painted a picture to sell. Never.
I met Theo about 15 years ago, 16 years ago, at the bus stop when I had my 2 babies. He said, come and spend the afternoon in his painting house, look at some pictures, and I was hooked. I would say, he says 3,000 to 4,000 paintings. I wouldn't go as far as to say there were that many, but there's certainly quite a few.
Early on I did earn a bit of money. But after that, I finished with money.
Everybody always says, why doesn't he sell a painting and give you a bit of money? But I don't expect that at all. I don't expect him to do that. And to be honest, I've got as bad as him about the fact that I hate to see paintings going up the path to people's houses because I feel like nobody will ever see them again. I'd rather not. The same as his daughter Mary, both Mary and myself, we want everybody to see the paintings.
This is one of the last paintings I've done. And I can't talk about the last painting without mentioning the early one and how they came about. Well, it was just paving stones and streets and little houses and people crushed in those houses. And all in our house were 3 in a bed. And I was always the one in the middle, which I didn't like. But they were wonderful people. At the end of the street, there's a great works and chimneys with different coloured smoke. A magnificent sight. And when they opened the furnaces at night, the light shone for 60 miles. Well, when it rained, and this light from the furnaces, a magnificent light, shone on the wet pavement. And you could see the children walking on fire. A magnificent sight. There was something about the people, the workers, the men and the women. Magnificent people. They were good people, and my mother and father were good. They'd help anyone. She worked in the mill. She was a cotton girl with a shawl. Both my father and mother worked in the mill for a very small wage. But later on, she developed terrible bronchitis through working in the damp mill, and it killed her.
I think there must have been something in Theo that wanted to break away from that, because there's something that made him a lot stronger than anybody, not only in his family but in the whole neighbourhood. He must have stood out in some way, because he's completely different from anybody I've ever met.
Well, my father was a preacher. He believed every word in the Bible. And he taught people how to live a good life. But I couldn't see it like that. All I could see was painting. And I knew that when I painted, I was doing the same thing that he did. This is my best model of all, and best portrait. She was a terrible, filthy old woman, but she was unique. But she loved Kathleen, and she loved Mary when she was a baby. But she didn't love me. She never loved me at all. I don't think she liked me, even. But I loved Mrs. Ferris. I paint according to the person I'm painting. If a person is very round and expresses this roundness in the breasts and so on, I paint it round. But Mrs. Ferris was thin and stiff. What a woman. I asked her when it was finished. I said, "How do you like it, Mrs. Ferris?" She said, "When are you going to put the colour on?" I said, "Never. Doesn't need any colour." Wonderful girl.
And one thing for sure is that Theo wants people to see his work. He definitely wants people to see his work. He doesn't want to sell it, but I think now's the time to have a big exhibition.
I read these little figures. I'm so fond of these people that I don't want to paint anything else. These pictures are all about good and evil, which is going on in the world. And the sun, there's hope, so long as that sun shines.
Of course, you know, he's getting on a bit now at 87, and I've done a lot of the practical things for him. But I also help with the paintings as well. I get the boards ready, paint together and give my advice, which he takes no notice of whatsoever, and everything else. It's just a good friend. He's my best friend, I would say. Been my best friend for a long time.
Kind of bloody. Well, I've enjoyed that painting. There's so many things that are beautiful. I think that's one of them. Those birds, I can't forget them. These are the beautiful things in life. Talking to the little hens. Beautiful.
Changing at Manchester and that lot. Oh, goodness.
Right, Mary, give us your bag. Give us your bag.
It's heavy, I'm warning you. You can
go.
I always bring too much, I know.
All those big pickpockets
I know.
again.
Yeah, sorry about that.
How are
but
you? Are you all right?
I'm fine. More to the point, how are you? And how's my dad?
Oh,
that's connected. The
how's
two
my dad?
things are
How's my
connected.
dad?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hiya, you all right? You weren't worried about me. Oh dear. The train was only a few minutes late. It was... You're right. Oh. You make me cry if you start laughing. I actually remember doing that picture.
Oh.
I know it's a long time ago, because it must be 45 years ago, because I was only 5. And I remember thinking that I'd make my mother. Do you remember that?
Big.
It was a great, big, because she was quite big, but she was
That's
sort of,
me.
and that was you, because you were very thin, and I thought I'd do some stripes. I think it's, yeah, I was quite, I love having that book.
Yeah.
I was so pleased to find it again in the shop.
Mm.
I remember having those pots of poster paint and, you know, mixing it
Yeah.
up with water, and having great big brushes.
Oh, yeah.
And great big piece of paper, and just sort of letting go and doing what I wanted. It was lovely, it really was. My mother there,
Yeah.
such a lovely lady,
Oh.
and that's the time when I did that picture that we've just seen in the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
But when you look at her on this one, she might be a little bit overweight, but not very much. I think she was really a big person in my life. I know
And
it's
she never
difficult.
grumbled, and she
No.
came from a family with money,
Yeah,
and she
I know.
came to an artist relief on money, and
yeah.
but she helped me. We helped each other. Oh, I still miss it.
Yeah, I do.
I,
A lot, yeah. Certainly my mother gave a lot of her life to helping him, and I think very willingly. I think she completely adored him and believed in his pictures, and you know, she worked as a teacher for many years, and I think generally without women there wouldn't be the pictures.
True artists have to be completely dedicated. They have to, well, they usually give everybody hell around them, because it's such a selfish occupation.
You know, I think that's another thing really about his sort of drive, isn't it, to be a painter. He's so, his painting drive, it's almost a religion with him.
Well, I cared for him alongside Mary. Mary looked after him before I did. And then Mary's life changed, and she had the opportunity to do something that she's always wanted to do, and that was to go to university. And I wanted her to go as much as anybody else. I really did. So she moved away and went to Kiel, and I carried on.
I must confess, in a lot of ways I felt very guilty because I've left Claire in a very difficult situation. She still looks after him today, and that's many years later. That's 15 years altogether. And I feel she's sort of, you know, gone through more than she should have. I mean, she's not had an easy time. She's now on her own with her children, all kinds of problems. And I think, well, I think my father's sort of, I think he's substituted, in a way, he's substituted her for me.
The beautiful woman. I love women. That doesn't mean I run after every female I see. It's nothing to do with that. It's a love. I love women. I can't do anything else. And of course, Kathleen, my wife. When she died, she gradually died. It nearly killed me. I didn't know what to do. But I tried to put a brave face on it and pretend that it wasn't so bad. But the loss of Kathleen was tremendous. For weeks I went on, couldn't paint. I tried to paint to get interested, but I painted 2 pictures that were absolute rubbish. But the 3rd week I painted the nude, and it came out pretty good. And I was pleased over that. But I still miss Kathleen. I always went. And I miss my sisters. And now, of course, I've got Claire. She saved my life. They would have put me in a home, I would have died. They would have taken the pictures away. Everything they would have taken away. This is what they do. And now I disagree with that. But Claire came and became the best friend I ever had.
I think at the time he painted his nudes, life wasn't too bad. I think probably that's why he painted them. He had lost his wife, and they were a homage to Kathleen, but I think he realised how much he loved Kathleen and how beautiful she was, and that's what started him off with the nudes. And he did go on to paint the most beautiful women.
If you look through these nudes, you'll find a relationship to Kathleen. And then a relationship to my daughter, Mary. And then another relationship to play. There's nothing more beautiful than a nude figure, whether it's a woman or a man or a baby. I've never seen anything wrong in nudes. I've painted more nudes than any other pictures. Sometimes it's a very warm colour, like orange, so I paint it orange. The copy nudes is just a waste of time. And when I think of all the nudes that have been painted in England by idiots, I get angry. But I don't plan these things, I just see them. And I think people who can't see things like that are blind. I've never seen the pictures look so good in the sunlight. That picture, that's one of my favourites, which was based on clay.
And he says the skeleton is himself. And maybe it is a way of punishing himself. I don't really actually think he actually likes himself as a person. He apologises to me a lot. He behaves atrociously and then he apologises and is absolutely full of remorse and so upset. And I don't think he actually thinks he is a good person. I think the women that have been in his life can see the end result, so it gives them some sort of satisfaction to know that they were part of it. That's what I love about just being part of Theo's life and being part of his paintings. It's an absolute privilege. Theo's latest series of paintings have been the great dramatic huge heads, nasty heads. He's described them to me as being the way he sees the world as it is today. Starving children, politicians, a variety of different nasty things. I think that's definitely true, but I also think that he's actually painted himself into them as well. I think that the little birds represent children, but they also represent the victims that have been in Theo's life, the victims that he's had. He's made victims. And sometimes when he looks at them, he actually does say, bah, that's me. He can see himself in them. And in a way, as he's become weaker, his body's become weaker, his spirit seems to have gone into them. It's Theo. Those heads are Theo. Don't they look beautiful?
Oh.
We love new brushes, they're gorgeous, aren't they?
Oh, they're beautiful, yeah. £5, £6, something, yeah.
That's your pension gone for this week. Right, let's get some tips.
That's all, yeah. Let's just... Oh, Kathleen. Oh, Christ.
It's very tense. It's very tense. It's more tense now because I know his frustrations and the physical effort it takes him to put the paint on the board. It is so frustrating and so frustrating to watch as well that it's very tense. Very tense. You're getting too fussy.
Oh.
May I let me hold you for this one? That's a... Get a bit nearer.
I forgot where he is.
Right, get a bit closer. Some people think I'm being quite ill-mannered or disrespectful of Theo. I'm not at all. It has taken me a long time to be able to be so familiar with him and for me to get away with it.
People may not like these pictures, but I don't care a fig for what people like or dislike. But I don't want to talk about pictures. I don't want to talk about these pictures. I paint them so that people can look at them.
When Theo's not here, I'll still be as poor and so will Mary. And between us we've got to find some way of exhibiting these paintings without a single penny. Right, do you want to get your legs up? I'll just go and wash my hands. Won't be a minute. Theo will never die because he's in every single one of his pieces of work. And I think his body, as his body is gradually giving up, I think his spirit is being transferred into the paintings and they're becoming stronger and stronger as Theo sort of, his body becomes weaker. And it's happening in a very natural way, really. Hey, they're okay, aren't they? They're not swollen or anything.
No.
They're just a bit dry, that's all. I think there should be a big celebration because he's transferred himself into all this. So... We'll let you get warmed up first and then I'll come back and put some coal. I'll leave you to get warm for a minute and then I'll come and give you a cup of tea in a minute. Give us a hug. Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
Oh, I love you, sir. I love you like I like Mary and Kathleen and all my sisters.
Oh,
Oh, I really love you.
You're just a big softie, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah. Except when you're painting. Right.
except when I'm painting.
And then you're a monster.
A monster, yeah, that's it.
Right, I'll try and get this fire down a bit so it stays in. All right, I'll just do these curtains. Just going to do these curtains. Okay, have I done everything?
artists painting with little brushes. And people who come here, it's a lovely pastime, isn't it? Oh, no, it is not a bloody pastime. They've no idea at all.